Colonization, global inequality, and empires have been a hot topic for a very long time, and many historians and economists have written on it, with some supporting it and some vehemently opposing it. Writers from the global south believe that it was the ruthless exploitation of the colonies that sowed the seeds of global inequality that is still going on. There are some who trace the roots of inequality in geography, like Jaron Diamond, who has written a wonderful book on that after working for years, or rather more than 1 decade. And he came up with the conclusion that it was because of the geography that global inequality exists. And he has also enumerated some other factors apart from geography. There are so many writers from the global south who condemn slavery, colonialism, and empires. But there are a number of right wingers as well, both in global south and north, who believe that empire was good. And some leaders from the global south thought that it went some way in helping out especially marginalized classes. And for instance, in India, a Dalit could have never imagined to make it to the power corridors of India today had there been no colonization, because it was for the first time in the history of that region that Dalit made it to educational institution. Though discrimination was still there, they somehow made it to educational institutions. They also entered into politics, carving out a certain sphere of influence within the power corridor. Although it was not very effective, it was still there. They were the ones who represented their community in a number of conferences in London. The tradition of sati is also said to have been abolished because of the opposition of the British Empire, or at least the British official who strongly opposed it. Some of them even physically intervened to stop this inhuman practice. In the same way, there were other factors as well, like modernization. So those who support empire, they claim like railway, education, scientific development, democracy. That was all because of colonization and empires. In Africa, they believed that a number of people were living in the semi-barbarian situation, and a number of them were animists. They had primitive customs and traditions, which also got abolished because of the intervention of colonial empires there. In North, South, and Central America, especially South and Central America, there were certain tribes that were even involved in human sacrifice, with some estimates suggesting 15,000 to 80,000 people would be sacrificed yearly, and because of their superstitious belief. And if the Western colonialists had not intervened there, then situation would not have changed. So it was because of this intervention that such inhuman practices came to a halt, and finally they were abolished. So they said that colonialism brought a lot of blessings to the areas where it intervened. It modernized them, introducing modern education, laying the infrastructure that turned out to be fruitful, like railways in Pakistan, Iraq, and some other areas. And in the same way, Western education, Western political thoughts, Western institutions, they were all the blessings of Western colonialism. A number of people have supported colonialism, and especially British colonial empire on the basis of those reasons. And one of the names that features prominently in our time is Niall Ferguson, who believes that empires, and especially British Empire, was very beneficial. And he has also written on the roots of global inequality. And he seems to be suggesting that basically it was free market economy, capitalism, Western democracy, scientific development, competition, what he calls killing apps, that were instrumental in helping out Western countries, especially the British Empire, to develop. And the West could develop and the rest could not develop because of these factors.